Okay, hello students. How are you today? Okay, I hope that you are okay. So, for today, we are going to look at measuring length with standard units. Remember, in our last lesson, we looked at how to use non-standard tools. Okay, now we are going to measure length using standard units. Okay, now let us first of all look at the measuring tools. Okay, we are going to look at the measuring tools that give standard units. Okay, all right. Now, number one, we have a meter ruler. 1 meter ruler. We can use a 1 meter ruler to measure the length of large objects such as a student desk and cloth rolls. Okay, so we use this to measure large objects, and it gives the units in meters. Okay, we have got a ruler. We can use a ruler to measure the length of small objects such as spoons, pencils, eraser. So objects that are small, objects that are shorter in size, we can measure them using a ruler. And a ruler can measure in centimeters and millimeters. Okay. Number 3, we look at the measuring tape. We can use a measuring tape to measure the length of clothes such as shirts, pants, and parts of our body. So we use a measuring tape, okay? Then we have metal measuring tape. Metal measuring tape. We can use a metal measuring tape to measure the heights of cupboards and the length of vehicles. Okay, so we use this to measure the length of things that are long, okay, or tall. We need to use a metal measuring tape. Okay. Now, Haring wants to measure the length of each object. This is Haring. This is Haring. He wants to measure the length of these things: a pencil, paperclip, eraser, pair of scissors. Now, which tool can he use? Can he use a metal measuring tape? Which one is easier to use for these objects? Oh yes, we can use a ruler, because we know that a ruler is used to measure the length of shorter objects. So you can see that really these are shorter objects. So we can be able to use a ruler. Now, when using a ruler, please make sure that you begin from 0. And then you can use these as centimeters. Okay. Now, let's look at how these objects are measured with a ruler. It is easier to read the measurement when we start measuring from 0. So it's better when you start measuring using a ruler, you start from 0. Okay. Now, look at this. We are beginning from the 0 mark. Okay, so when you begin from the 0 mark, it becomes easier to tell the length. So you can see that the paper clip is 3 centimeters long. Let me write it here. Say the paper clip is 3 centimeters. Okay. If you don't want to say centimeters to write the whole word, you can say 3 cm. Cm stands for centimeter. So when we say centimeter, then it is the same as cm. I hope you get that right. And another important point, don't forget to start measuring from 0 mark. Okay. So we are beginning from the 0 mark, and now we are measuring the eraser. So from 0, you will see where it stops. So you see that it stops at 5. So this means that it is 5 centimeters long. The eraser is 5 centimeters long. The pair of scissors is 11 centimeters long, and the pencil is 14 centimeters long. Okay, now Rafi wants to measure his waist. Can he use a ruler to measure? Do you think you can use a ruler to measure your waist? I think it's better to use a measuring tape. Okay, when you use a measuring tape, it becomes easy to measure the length of something that is round. Okay, so we see that Ravi can use a measuring tape instead of a ruler. It can be used to measure the length of round objects in meters and centimeters. Okay. Now, measuring and drawing lines in centimeters. Let us see how can we draw or measure lines when we are using centimeters. Okay. Janice uses a ruler to draw a line 10 centimeters long. Her line starts from 0 centimeter mark and ends at 10 centimeters mark. So this is the line that she drew. I hope you understand that. Okay. Peter also draws a line. How long is Peter's line? This is Peter's line. So how long is it? Okay, great. It is 13 centimeters long. If you don't want to say 13 centimeters, you can say 13 cm. When you say 13 cm and 13 centimeters, it becomes the same because cm is the abbreviation of centimeter. Okay, let's see how to measure in meters. We can use a meter ruler or a measuring tape to measure length in meters. So if you're told, find the length of the table in meters, we say that it is 1 meter. Okay. Now, 1 meter, it can be written as 1 m, but not 1 million. Okay. Now, also remember that 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So if we have 1 meter, we should know that we have got 100 centimeters. Okay. Find the height of the cupboard in meters. Yes, we can see that it's 2 meters. Okay, but remember, we measure the height of the cupboard from the top to the bottom using a metal measuring tape. Okay, do and learn. Study the picture and answer the questions. Okay, we can see a tree, we can see a dog, and we can see a lamppost. So look at the position where the dog is from the tree. Can you see that? It is only 6 meters. And the distance between the dog and the lamppost is 12 meters. Now, the question goes, the dog is at a dash distance to the tree by dash meters. So we can say the dog is at shorter distance to the tree by 6 meters. Okay. The distance between the lamppost and the dog is, look, lamppost, dog. The distance is 12 meters. Okay. The distance between the tree and the lamppost is from the tree to the lamppost. So we get 6 plus 12, and we get 18 meters. Okay. Now, use a ruler to measure the length of each object. So you are going to use a ruler. You measure the length of these objects in your book, and then you write the answer. Okay, now you will go and do exercise on page, do exercise on page 24 to 25. So let's stop here for today, and we meet again next time.